Maya pressed her forehead against the kitchen window, watching the moving truck rumble away from the house next door. For 3 years, that house had stood empty, its garden growing wild, the for sale sign fading in the sun. Now, finally, someone had moved in. She caught a glimpse of her new neighbor, a woman about her age, maybe mid-30s, wrestling with a box that seemed determined to escape her grip. Maya smiled. She remembered that struggle from her own moving day 5 years ago. "Should I go over?" she asked her cat, Pepper, who was far more interested in a fly buzzing against the window. Maya had always been the friendly type, but the pandemic had changed things. She'd gotten used to her solitude, to her routines, to her quiet corner of the world. The thought of small talk made her stomach tighten just a little. But then she remembered what it felt like to move to a new place, knowing no one. 20 minutes later, she knocked on her neighbor's door, holding a plate of cookies she'd baked that morning, lemon lavender, her signature recipe. The woman who answered had paint smudges on her cheek and looked exhausted. "Hi, I'm Maya. I live next door, the blue house. I thought you might be too tired to think about dinner, so." She held up the cookies, then felt foolish. "Okay, these aren't dinner, but there's something." The woman's face broke into a genuine smile. "They're perfect. I'm Zara. And you're right, I haven't eaten since breakfast. Come in?" "Fair warning, it's chaos." Maya stepped into a sea of boxes. "I like your chaos. Very structural." Zara laughed. "That's generous. Most of these are books. I'm a librarian." "Really?" "I'm a graphic designer. I work from home." "So you're telling me we're both hermits by profession?" "Basically." They talked for an hour, sitting on Zara's couch, one of the few pieces of furniture she'd assembled. Maya learned that Zara had moved from across the country after a divorce, that she collected vintage teapots, that she was terrified of wasps, but loved bees. Zara learned that Maya had adopted Pepper from a shelter, that she ran a small online design business, that she made a different cookie flavor every Sunday. As Maya left, Zara called out, "Hey, if you hear any weird noises from over here, it's probably just me trying to assemble IKEA furniture." Or crying. Could be either. "I'll bring tools next time," Maya promised. The weeks that followed fell into an easy rhythm. Maya would wave from her garden in the mornings. Zara would wave back from her window, coffee mug in hand. They'd chat across the fence while pulling weeds or watering plants. Small exchanges, comfortable silences. Then one Saturday, Maya noticed Zara's garden had exploded with activity. Where there had been overgrown grass, there were now stakes and string marking out beds. "Starting a garden?" Maya called over the fence. Zara looked up, dirt on her nose. "Attempting to. I have no idea what I'm doing. I killed a cactus once." "That's actually impressive." "I know, right?" I felt terrible. "His name was Spike." Maya laughed. "Tell you what, I've been gardening for years. Want some help?" They spent the afternoon transforming Zara's yard. Maya taught her about soil pH and companion planting. Zara made them lemonade and told stories about eccentric library patrons. By evening, they'd planted tomatoes, peppers, herbs, and a row of sunflowers along the fence. "For the bees," Zara said. "And for us," Maya added. "There's something hopeful about sunflowers." As summer deepened, so did their friendship. They discovered they both loved old movies, so Friday nights became movie night, alternating houses, alternating who chose the film. They started a 2-person book club. Maya designed a logo for the library's summer reading program, refusing payment until Zara agreed to at least let her pay in homemade jam. "You made this?" Maya asked, tasting the strawberry preserves. "From my garden." "Well, our gardens. Those were your strawberry plant's offspring. They're delicious. We're basically farming together through a fence. We should name our operation 2 Women, 1 Fence Farm? I feel like that sounds vaguely like a YouTube channel that would get us weird comments." They both laughed until they cried. But it was on a difficult Tuesday in August that their friendship deepened into something more profound. Maya's client, her biggest, most important client, had sent an email late Monday night dropping her services. "Budget cuts," they said. She'd been counting on that income. She spent Tuesday morning updating her portfolio, firing off proposals, trying not to panic about her rent. By afternoon, She was stress baking her third batch of cookies. Zara appeared at her door. I can smell the anxiety from next door. What's wrong? Maya tried to brush it off, but Zara just looked at her steadily. We can pretend you're fine, or you can tell me what's actually happening. So Maya told her everything. The lost client, the financial stress, the fear that she wasn't good enough, that she'd made a mistake trying to run her own business. Zara listened, really listened. Then she said, "Okay, can I show you something?" They went to Zara's house. She pulled out her laptop and opened a folder of documents. These are from last year, after my divorce. I was so depressed I could barely function. I gained weight, lost weight, couldn't sleep, slept too much. I thought about quitting my job and moving back in with my parents. I felt like a complete failure at 35. Zara, I had no idea. That's because I got through it. And you will too. Not because problems magically disappear, but because you're resourceful and talented and stubborn. Also, I've seen your work. You're brilliant. Maya felt tears burning. I'm just scared. I know. But you don't have to be scared alone. They ordered pizza, and Zara helped Maya review her proposals. She read through Maya's portfolio with a critical eye, suggesting small tweaks. She made a list of local businesses that might need design work. By midnight, Maya felt less like she was drowning and more like she was swimming. 3 weeks later, Maya landed 2 new clients, both from Zara's suggestions. Autumn arrived with its parade of colors. The gardens began their slow surrender to winter. The sunflowers dropped their heavy heads, leaving seeds for next year. One October evening, Maya invited Zara over for soup. They sat in Maya's living room, bowls warming their hands, watching the sun set through the window. Can I tell you something? Zara said. When I moved here, I was so lonely I couldn't breathe. I thought I'd just exist. Go to work, come home, repeat. I didn't think I'd ever feel like myself again. And now? Now I have a friend who brings me cookies when I'm sad and tells me when I have dirt on my face. Who watches terrible movies with me and doesn't judge my crying during animated films. Who helped me grow an actual garden that didn't die. Maya smiled. The season's not over yet. Those tomatoes could still stage a coup. I'm serious. You helped me remember what it feels like to be happy. To look forward to things. Maya set down her soup and reached for Zara's hand. You did the same for me. I didn't realize how much I'd isolated myself until you moved in. I'd convinced myself I was fine alone. Were you? I was surviving. But with you here, I'm actually living. They sat in comfortable silence, hands linked, watching the last light drain from the sky. Winter came. The gardens slept beneath frost. Maya and Zara strung lights between their houses, creating a canopy of stars over the fence line. They had hot chocolate Fridays instead of movie Fridays, taking turns hosting, always finding excuses to extend the evenings. When Maya got the flu, Zara left soup on her doorstep every day and texted her terrible jokes to keep her spirits up. When Zara's car broke down the week before Christmas, Maya drove her everywhere she needed to go and helped her research mechanics who wouldn't overcharge her. They built snowmen in their yards, increasingly ridiculous ones, competing for the title of Most Absurd Frozen Sculpture. Zara's final entry was a snowcat that looked more like a potato with ears. Maya's was a dragon that collapsed halfway through construction. We're both terrible at this, Zara declared. The worst, Maya agreed. Same time next year? Obviously. Spring returned, as it always does. The gardens woke up. The sunflowers they'd planted began to sprout, small green promises pushing through soil. On a warm April morning, Maya found Zara already in her garden, preparing the beds for planting. Starting without me? Maya called. Never. I was just getting things ready. I thought today we could plan out the summer garden together. Maybe plant some of those heirloom tomatoes you were talking about. Maya grabbed her gloves and met Zara at the fence. They stood there for a moment, looking at the space they'd created together, not just the garden, but the friendship, the trust, the shared life that had grown between 2 houses. You know what's funny? Maya said. A year ago, I was nervous to knock on your door with those cookies. And I almost didn't answer because I looked terrible. I'm glad you did. Me too.